had made a comment that you had heard from several people that public health has an open door spending, and that may be part of the reason why we had expended a lot of our money. So I would like you to explain what you had meant by that, or maybe who you had heard that from.
There have been comments made that whatever the health department wants to get. I was relaying what I heard from a constituent, and I'm trying to understand it myself, because I remember back when there was way more people in the county, like 20 years ago, 25 years ago, there wasn't the involvement, and so there's less people now, and there's more involvement. That's kind of what.
I believe it was only open about 25 years ago, because Berlin's been here since it opened, so we just started.
I guess I'm unclear what it means about expending money and getting what we get, but we're doing more. I don't, like, what do you mean? What were some examples that constituent
Well, when it
provided
started
you?
out, there was not as many employees, and there were more people in the county at that time. Now there's less people, and there's a bigger budget and more employees.
Well, I can answer that, there's more services. When
And
they
that's not
started
true.
out,
I realize that. What I'm trying to understand here is didn't they need the services back then, is my question. I'm not questioning the fact of what's going on here. I'm trying to curious how they got along before this started with what they had with more people in the town.
Well, 10 years ago, Caitlin, there was how many nurses? 4? 2 office staff and an administrator.
Yep.
So
The administrator was part-time.
we're like
How
half.
many nurses did you have?
4.
You had 4, they're down to 1.5.
So now we're less and doing more.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and like again, I don't go out to not do anything. I mean, we take pride in what we do, and are here for our community, and we're hearing the needs of the community and what they want, so.
The other thing I think that's important to have, like, on the record is when you see us at the fair, when you see us sponsoring things in the paper, giving away free items like med dispensers, promo items, stickers, activity books, those things are all grant provided, and those are things that I have to count every sticker, every pen I give out, and I have to report it back to the state. So those are all things with my grant that they want us to be doing. We have to spend down that money or we turn it back. And so if you do have questions about spending, or you're wondering, if anyone in the community talks about, hey, I heard public health is kind of in dire straits, but they seem really active, or they're giving away a door prize at a thing, how can they afford to do that? A lot of the times it is with my grant money, and it relates directly back to objectives within the grant. So I just wanted that to be noted as well, that that's not coming out of general fund dollars or tax dollars.
Thank you.
Yes.
And it should be re-emphasized that the grant money can only be used for certain things. It can't be used
1000%.
for-
Yes, if we were to get audited,
Yeah.
not good.
Not good.
Yeah,
We
there's,
would not
There's
get
a
any
lot
more
of
grants.
programs out
Yeah,
through the whole county.
yeah.
there's a few outfits in the country that got in a lot of trouble.
We got a whole lot
Wow.
of this yet.
Yeah, absolutely, and that, and
Earmark.
we mark our stuff, we keep track, but we just wanted to let you guys know, because I think things get forgotten, and I just wanted to come answer any of your guys' questions you had, so.
Thank you much for coming. Anybody got any other questions? This is an opportunity to ask. I guess we can clarify that, Brian.
Good.
Yep.
thank you, Jordan.
You guys do a great job.
Okay, well, I appreciate you guys, thank you for your time.
Do you think there's a fighting chance you'll make it to December 31st?
Yeah, I believe so. But you think we're gonna come back?
I'm trying to figure that out.
Was that question you mean physically or fiscally?
Oh, I know she'll make it.
You're talking money wise.
Yeah.
Well, you're
As of right now, it
gotta
looks like
clarify
yes,
that.
he will, so, we're trying.
Because, always best to know well in advance if a need is going to arise.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let you know.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Geez, just on time.
Boy, perfect. You don't even have to sit down.
You're gonna be in the hot seat.
Oh, boy.
They're hot.
Trust me,
No warm-
nothing's as
there's
hot
no
as
warm
this
up
seat
time.
over here.
Come on, we cooled it down a little bit.
Yeah, public health is a
Stick
breath
around.
of fresh air.
Thank you, Stan.
Morning, Jenna.
Morning. What do you want me to start with first?
Whatever you want.
The easiest stuff.
What's the lowest one first?
We're done with that.
Building.
Compensation,
We've already done
we're
that.
done with
Okay.
that. That was really easy, that was good.
Yeah. Okay, so what's first on your list?
Building permit.
Okay, perfect. So Steve and McCormick Earthly are looking to put an anhydrous tank on their farmstead. The zoning board gave a due recommendation to pass it. You should have received a map that says showing where it's going to be located.
I'm pretty sure we got that on those mornings. Here it is, right here in the back.
It's here.
It's in the back, it's the back page.
Right.
So this has just
It's
been
a-
approved.
Yeah.
That circle there anywhere?
Yeah, you guys made me all know, but I'll just repeat myself, the zoning board doesn't make any rules at all, the commission does. All the zoning board does is recommend to the commission,
Yep.
and that's why
And
we
your
recommended this, but this group has to make the
Your
motion.
recommendation is that this is okay.
Correct.
So I guess we need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Boone to approve this zoning for anhydrous tank. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Brian Miller. Any other discussion? That's kind of quite a ways away from the farmland, right?
Oh, well, it's off by itself.
Cool. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. That one's done.
So, we had a couple changes to our zoning ordinances. The first one would be to the original zoning ordinance of 2008, it's the permit fee schedule. A couple of changes would be that it used to be for regular building permits of houses and shops and that kind of thing. 5,000 to 20,000 was a $20 fee, over $20,000 in value would be $25 plus one additional dollar for each $1,000 in value, which is kind of wordy.
Yeah.
The changes would be from $0 to $100,000 in value would be just a straight $50 fee, over $100,000 would be a straight $100 fee. The other change was due to our conditional use permit. A while back, we had changed it to 0.10% of the cost of the project with a minimum fee of $500 and a maximum of $2,000. We just want to add, unless otherwise stipulated by state law or century code, because when we were talking about the animal feeding operations, the state has put a maximum fee of $500 on. So that's why we added, unless otherwise stipulated by state law or century code. The other change would be due to the wind energy facilities. We had a reverse setback listed in there where building permits would not be issued to construct any proposed habitable structure within a mile of an existing turbine. There were some individuals from the county that felt like they should be able to build on their own property regardless of how far from a wind turbine it is, because they already know that the turbine is there, and it's their choice to build within that mile. I was at a Walhalla Township zoning meeting, and Luke from PRC was there, and he's like, it doesn't matter to us, he's like, I don't know why it's even in there, so we just voted, the zoning board voted to remove the reverse setback from the wind turbine policy.
So they could build it anyway.
Correct.
Oh, that makes sense.
But the existing proposal of a wind tower still has to follow that?
Yes. Yep, it's just the reverse part. So they still have to be a mile away from an existing habitable structure.
If that's your question.
Yeah, it's just that the property owner itself can now build within that.
I'll make a motion to approve those two recommendations.
Could we both do one motion?
I think,
I'd rather do them separate, I think it's better to do them separate. Because if you have an issue with one and not the other, or vice versa,
Okay, what's the first one?
the fee schedule.
I'll make a motion that we accept the modified fee schedule.
Okay, is there a second? Second by Boone, discussion. Hearing no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay, then for the setback,
I'll make the motion on the revised setback changes.
okay? Is there a second to that?
Second.
Second, Brian Miller. Discussion on it.
It is, I guess the question I have about that, and I understand why they're doing what they're doing. In getting that reversal, is that gonna give the outfit fuel to change the other one?
I don't think so, because the constituents as well as Tommy are the ones who didn't understand why it was there or why they would have to follow the same mile setback. But it is two separate portions of that ordinance, so.
I just wanna, the reason I wanna make that clear is, in doing this, this makes it a countywide, and the people that are on the zoning, that are on the, using the county zoning. And the reason I'm looking for the explanation is, some people are gonna read that and say, hey, we thought we were getting this, but now we're getting this.
Yeah,
And
no.
so I just wanna make that clear.
The setback from for a wind tower from habitable structure is still 1 mile.
I'm just,
Yeah,
This allows the landowner to go closer if they choose.
I know that, I understand that,
Let's
but
say you
Yeah,
put a
makes
windmill, no
sense.
capacity, you want to put a cattle
Yeah.
shelter up there, and you can't make a mile, that doesn't make sense.
I follow that.
And the landowner will still have to come, if they're under our county zone, they'll have to come before building.
Because people are gonna see something like that, and they're gonna.
Right,
Just wanted to make
two separate things.
Thank you.
Don't pick things apart on the west.
People I know, but this way we have a good,
So we'll call for a vote, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Any headway on comprehensive plan or any new epiphanies?
Well, so John Forrest thought that he had somebody who might be able to write a comprehensive plan. That person said no. The zoning board asked that I contact Steve Sprague, and he said no. I have been getting some emails from other counties, including Burke County, looking to see who they've hired for a company to help revise their or review their comprehensive plan, and that's the extent of it. I am willing to spend time on it, but I wasn't going to start doing anything until I had a understanding from all of you as to whether I should or if we're still gonna look for somebody to do it for us.
When does this have to be
Well,
adopted or?
right now, the zoning board has put in a 12-month deadline to get the comprehensive plan done as of June 25th, I think, was that meeting.
27.
Yeah, whatever.
Get it
the
done
June
within.
meeting is. So,
Well, and how this all come about, we do need one.
Yes.
But how it all started was that, and I don't know where it came from, was that none of these ordinances will hold up in court if you don't have a comprehensive plan. I don't believe that. You know, let's see the court case where that actually occurred. Okay, so I think there's some fear mongering going on there. On the other hand, we do need one. At our last zoning board meeting, we talked about what the commissioners were willing to pay for someone to make one. I mean, I made a comment, or Boone made a comment, or we kind of talked about it, that they're probably willing to pay something, but it's not going to be a 5-figure
Right.
and
To make this plan.
to make this plan.
We just decided
And we're kind of speaking out of turn,
Right.
because we don't know what
We
the
don't
rest of you think,
wanna do.
but that's where we're
The
kind of at.
biggest thing is that
First, we gotta find somebody that'll do it. We've asked two people
Well,
already, and they
but
haven't,
the
but I
devil's
mean,
in, the devil's in the details.
know.
If you throw $20,000 out there, there'll be a lot of people that'll do it, but we don't want to spend that, obviously.
Right.
So,
You also have to find somebody.
that will,
We're not doing it ourselves, we have to find somebody who's knowledgeable in some of these areas we
So
right.
I believe I have access to all the demographic data because of the census. Okay, so I believe I have access to that. Now, it takes digging because it doesn't just lay everything out in front of you. You've got to be able to disaggregate data and you know, you find everything from racial and ethnic to how much money, you know, is made by how many people, you know, census is way more than just population. Okay, and where is your income derived from, all of that stuff is in there. But it takes a lot of digging, and we're closer to the next census than we are to the last one. So 2030, obviously, the next one's coming, so you would be updating all that data at that particular point.
My understanding is once a comprehensive plan, but of course we want to keep it as fresh.
Keep updating.
So,
Right. It's not updated, it's not.
Is there a deadline when this needs to be done?
well, the only thing is at the center. I looked at central code and it said that the zoning ordinances you did need to have some kind of comprehensive plan. So state law states that you need it, but it doesn't tell you a time frame, or maybe it was there way back when, or when we did it, and we just missed, I don't know, I
And then
wasn't
you,
on the board.
and then you get it all together, and if nobody comes, sits on a shelf and collects.
That's right, what's it good for?
So, you know, if nobody comes looking for a data center, nobody comes looking for a battery storage facility, nobody comes looking for a new cattle feed lot, whatever, then you did it, and it's there, but not good news.
I think this is the deal too, where this was written in the Century Code initially, and it really applies to the Burley and Cass counties of the state.
Right.
We deal with, a big company comes in, they wanna know the demographics, they wanna know, it has nothing to do with ordinances a lot of times, but they wanna look at the picture of the county. What kind of labor force? Is there a young group? Are they all retired? All that stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with setbacks and any of that.
It's all stuff that they should be doing anyway before they come here, but they want to.
And there's such a difference in rural counties like
Right.
this compared to.
Exactly.
the other
Big
cities.
cities.
That's beside the point, because the Century Code was made for 53 counties, not before them. I just,
Is there any one from some county of our size or like that we could view if they let us?
oh yeah, we've got that, we've done that. But you still gotta put in
I
your
know,
own
I know,
information.
I'm just saying though that we get some
A
kind of model.
template, right.
So you're willing to work on this?
To the best of my ability, I am, as long as I can get the information, but it might be more longer than that year, depending on how quickly we find on that.
Chad Ziegler, one of the members of the zoning board, they got an idea, you know, he said, how much of this could AI do as far as writing this and help him acquire the information? That was another option, but
I did put
you need a techie person.
So what about other counties that have this in place, is there models we could use?
Oh, yeah, we've got different counties. But you still gotta plot in Wells County stuff,
Right.
you know, you can't.
You can't just
Burke
go copy
County's
there. You
got
gotta-
22% of the people
Plug in-
over
plug in,
65%,
yeah.
you know. Or the income in Burke County is different than here, that sort of thing. They want agricultural land. What percentage of agricultural land is crops, pasture, wasteland? Right? Stuff like that.
I did look into some of that information, because even in my soils committee, or reassessment stuff, you know, I had talked to to FSA to be wondering about CRP, what land is in CRP, well, that's all confidential, you'd have to go to the property owner and get a approval signature saying that you can obtain this information, you don't get that, you don't get the information, so.
Okay, well, we'll keep plugging away.
Guess that's all you can do, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good question unrelated to this. How many meetings have you gone to Fall Hall? Oh, just two. Oh,
It's not gonna, they haven't had a lot, they,
okay.
Elfside is contacting me a few times, and have to writing notices and what's happening.
But you haven't spent an inordinate long period of
No.
time dealing with that stuff.
No,
Oh.
they've taken a lot of the wind turbine ordinance and maybe they've done a lot of some ordinance. They've taken those from the county and rewrote a few things and they want to take out that reverse setback as well and so, yeah.
And
they're mirroring
for
it.
the rest of you,
There's three of them up there that are real close buddies and all in that area.
well, the reason I
I
asked
mean, that
that,
are doing.
the reason I asked that, and you know, you want good rapport with different townships, but my
Right.
gosh, it's not Jana's job. If a township wants to rewrite 42 pages of an ordinance, that she should be at every meeting, and that's not her
Right.
job.
No,
That-
no.
That's
That's
their
their
deal.
job.
And
No.
you wanna do some of that as far as rapport with them, but
No, I
there
haven't
comes
been,
a point where,
no, I haven't been to all of them.
That's why I
Just-
brought
Just
it
the
up.
ones that they request me at, and I think it's been two,
oh,
so.
that's not bad.
Okay, that's everything I need.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I have the resolutions written for those ordinance changes, but I need your signature and a notary before I can record them, so. Just to let you know.
You got that, Dan?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have Carissa do it as.
Yeah,
what
yeah,
Glenn
so if
says.
you wanna
I'm
just
a
come
notary,
over
but I'm
after
also
the
on
meeting.
planning development.
Get off it.
Conflict.
Yeah, or just send me a text or whatever, I'll meet you in Chris's office, because I'll plug in dates and all that other stuff. So.
You guys ready to deal with me now?
If you, Jana, you should prep those documents, because I'm sure they'll do this today.
Yep, I
Okay.
just have to plug in dates and I can print them and have them ready.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Brett, you got some more?
You bet I do. All right. I didn't bring this up because the supervisors were sitting in here when you met earlier. So we're gonna start right here, all right? First off, the magic text message that nobody seems to could have found. Here it is in yellow. Okay? After I got off the phone with you guys last meeting, the road department was a topic of conversation. It appears the last meeting was one I shouldn't have missed. It was brought up that not blading in Chaseley Township was just horrible and it's not a good look for Wells County. Dan stated that he felt it was not in the best interest of the county. It was stated that the Board of Commissioners didn't approve the decision to stop blading there. And it was also said that one supervisor in the township had no authority to make the decision on their own, even though it was stated by a commissioner that another member of the township board also said he didn't want us on his road. The day of the incident, the day that text message came, I contacted 3 commissioners. Dennis, my portfolio. Brian, his area. And Boone, because he's dealt with the issue like I have for a long time.
That's the day you and Doug went down.
Yes. And at that point, through those 3 commissioners and myself, we decided we were going to stay out of Chaseley for a while. Okay? So under no circumstance did I make that decision on my own. But that was failed to be brought up at the last meeting. What was brought up at the last meeting is I was out of line for doing that. I spoke to 3 commissioners. Okay? At no point did the 3 of us say we were gonna stay, or 4 of us, excuse me, say we were gonna stay out of Chasely for good. But you can read the text message. It states, Doug is no longer welcome in our township. If you're not gonna blade the roads the way we want, stay out. Now, I have no problem going back there.
Exactly, but see, there was only one person in that township that said that.
Exactly.
The rest of the people in that township didn't know any of this was gonna happen.
I'm not denying that.
I know, I just,
You could see even today, Kim and Kyle were not.
They're not
in
even getting
agreement.
along in the township board.
That's right.
I understand that,
Okay.
so,
But it is, and it was stated here this morning, it was stated last month, and it's just a fact that no one of these 5 individuals can make
No.
decisions on behalf of the rest of the
right,
same
and that's
way the
what we
township
decided
does.
last meeting.
And the same with the townships that just.
They weren't getting along, I mean,
You can't,
They haven't got along for 10 years. They're not
I
going to
know.
get along for the next 10 years.
how are they related?
You know, and I
Cousins.
know it came out last
cousins,
week,
their
but
dads were brothers.
it wasn't pointed that you were at fault, it was pointed that they can't tell us.
It was
that.
pointed out that I did not have the right to make that decision on my own and that I need to cool
Is that
down.
what it was said?
I promise you it was said. I watched the meeting 4 times.
And it is, I mean, it isn't, not a good look for them, and it's certainly not a good look for us. But when it comes down to liability, it's a well-known fact that Wells County Road Department blades township roads in all 36 townships. You had made a comment to me one time about not having a fatality on any of these.
It does mean a
township
lot
roads.
to us.
And that's fantastic. So we stopped blading, and sheer coincidence, a fatality happens in Chasely Township. Who do you think's gonna get blamed for that? Wells County's gonna get blamed for that. And whether rightly so or deservedly so, it doesn't make any difference, because we're responsible for maintaining those roads.
Well, I
Century
one thing,
code.
Looking at those pictures, you blade those prairie roads, you're gonna make an accident. You can't blade stuff like
Thank you.
that.
I know.
And make a pile on the side, it
You're
don't
gonna-
work.
you're gonna
I
have
think we need-
windrows that-
Century Code states that the township is responsible for maintenance of their township roads and not the county. But the township can enter into an agreement with the county for maintenance of the roads, which is exactly what we have in place right now for $100 a mile a year. We are not responsible to fix their road.
Well, that's my comment when they were here. There's a fine line between maintenance
And at any
building.
time,
Yeah.
either party can break that contract. Now, he states they haven't signed the agreement and they haven't paid.
They've paid, but they haven't signed the agreement.
Okay.
Don't ask me why.
Yeah. Okay, now, it's very important that you guys understand that it was brought out at the last meeting like I flew off the handle that this was a one-time complaint, and I've been dealing with this township for 10 years.
Yes.
Okay,
No,
I do
you
not have
haven't
an
been-
anger management.
You haven't been, Mel was before that.
Yes, Mel took me down there as a blade guy to look at what Doug was doing. So this has been going on for 10 years, and it goes on every year. And the fact that I haven't lost my township with my temper with Kyle Hart till 7.5 years into this job is nothing more than a goddamn miracle. Pardon my French. Okay, Kyle calls me last week at night. I answer the phone. I'm off duty. I see who's calling. We have a 15-minute conversation. We agree that we both need to get along and do what's best. He comes in here, barrels blading with pictures, and it's like we never even had that conversation last week. And let me tell you something. Doug didn't blade those roads any different than he has for the last 34 years. But yet they sit here and say, well, he really stepped up his game. He didn't do anything different, guys.
Well,
I
one
don't
guy
agree.
said he stepped up his.
Huh?
game.
I don't agree.
You don't agree that he didn't do anything different this last time?
I don't agree that he's been doing his job in the past like you claim he has been doing. No,
No.
now wait a minute. I'm not on anybody's side here.
You've been on Doug's tail for a long time, Brian, so go ahead and get it out.
No, just wait a minute. Just wait a minute.
I am waiting.
That is the one person we get the complaints from most, and not just Chaseley Township. Okay? Remember that.
Remember the roads.
I
he's
have
blading.
all the ability, or like all the confidence in Doug. I know he knows how to do good. Okay? I know he does. But the want to get where it's going. I have been told this by many people over there in those townships. I am only trying to help the situation. I am not trying to cause trouble for anybody. I want everybody to do their job as they're supposed to do. Now, when certain people of the county, whoever they may be, whatever entity, doesn't do their job, this is what creates trouble. When somebody's not doing their job, now those roads down there, I remember those roads from years back. There were a lot of gravel roads down there. My question is, when did we decide to not blade those roads? A lot of those roads are good roads.
A lot of those roads got cut off in the 90s.
Because of the water.
Because of the water, and they came to a dead end.
And that's when they went out of.
And that's when they stopped being bladed as
So
much, because are
they usable now?
most of them aren't. They haven't brought any of them back.
The water's
Can you
probably
even get
worse.
to those roads? If the water came up, how can they get to them?
No, what I'm saying
They can't
is
get to it. They're not using them.
there might be a 2-mile stretch of road, okay, that had the water go over in 2 areas of that 2-mile stretch.
I understand all that.
Okay, so you can't get to the middle, okay, that's nothing
Yeah,
anymore.
I understand that.
And you blade up to a dead end and then turn around and blade up. That's when the road started to go to not so good down there, is in the mid-90s when all that water and rain came.
So what you're saying is some of the through roads, being as those got done, the through roads, some of them that still could be handled aren't.
All the through roads are being handled.
Are they bladed? None
Yes.
of them have grass growing on them?
You're gonna have grass growing on those roads. We can blade those roads once a week. Okay, the fact that it was brought up that they spent $40,000 in gravel, and she says they gravelled all their roads.
They
It
got a
cost
lot more
$8,000 to blade, to put 400 yards of gravel down a mile.
Example, those roads, you go southern in Sheridan County, I can show you 50 to 100 miles of that stuff. And it's understood the blades get off the roads.
You know, I just went across over through Sheridan County, and I went across into McHenry County, because I had to go through there to do
Yeah,
some
you're
stuff.
in the north side. There's a big difference. Just
Whatever
like
the
Wells-
case is.
Just like Wells County, north side, south side.
There's a lot of counties that do in this prairie trail thing, or however you wanna call it. It's just, I see a lot of different things, and to a point I'm puzzled, and I don't understand. As far as you thinking I'm at it for Doug, I'm at it for whoever's not doing their job. That's our 5 people's jobs here, is to see that this thing runs efficiently.
Nothing against Donovan Rippling. Okay, he was a past blade guy in Bowden.
Right.
Okay?
I
Doug
know
was 10, 12 years ago, Doug was the greatest blade guy in the southern half of the county. You know why? Because
I know that.
everybody in Bowden hated Donovan and they wanted Doug to come over.
Yeah.
That's the truth, Brian.
I know all that stuff.
Okay? So for saying that Doug isn't doing his job is ludicrous. Okay? Doug lost like 40-some miles of roads in the 90s. That's why Doug got expanded his route up north, is because all those roads went underwater in the 90s. That's why Doug is pushed up to keep his miles up. Okay? You can send Tim Buckwitz over, you can send Kerry Shimke over, you can send whichever blade guy you want over to Doug's area. Number one, any of the other 7 guys don't want to go there because they know his roads are terrible, and not because of him. It's because there's no gravel, they're dirt roads with no ditches, and they're basically prairie trail. Okay?
I understand all that. I saw something in Doug's northern part that he wasn't part of to start with. And I saw people get together and take the shouldering disc. and
I
get
know,
things done.
I know, Mark.
And I explained that at our meeting.
I
that needs
heard
to
it all
happen.
at the last meeting. You know where that shouldering disc came from?
Wells County.
It was sold to Mark Fall for like $50.
Yeah,
And
he
I had
did
no
that.
part of that, by
I
the way.
know the history on it, I was told. But all I'm driving at here is, we really need to make sure that things are getting accomplished and people are doing their jobs. And I know Doug has the ability, don't get me wrong. But I've also seen a lot of things over the years. I've been told this, and I kept a lot of it under my hat. I have. That there was a lot of favoritism. And we do not need that. Now, like I stated this morning, I hope we don't ever have to get to this point again to get something accomplished, because Doug went out and did a really good job. If that's what we have to do for people to do their jobs in the county, that's sad. That's really sad.
What's sad? You know what's sad? What's sad is, and I've been stating this for 2+ years, and nothing, it's like I'm talking to a wall, okay? What's going on in the county is that there are 99% of the people in this county know how to run a blade, and about 8 or 9 guys in this county don't know how to run a blade. And it's getting worse and worse and worse to the point where we don't even go out in public anymore because we're getting ridiculed on every damn thing we do. And these guys that have been running maintainers for 20, 30, 40 years, you guys are going to find out that you're going to wish them guys never retired.
I didn't say that.
Okay? And everybody's got the answer to blading a gravel road except the guys that have trained and have done it for 20, 30 years. And they know what the road needs. We don't.
I wasn't stating that.
Well, that's what I hear on a daily basis. Last Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, somebody lights up my messenger and starts complaining about the blade guy in Sykeston, how he's an idiot, and swearing at me. And I don't answer back. Thursday night at 8 o'clock, after happy hour, she lays into me again on Messenger. Okay? Phone calls that I get, it's ridiculous. And if you guys do not back up these blade guys, you're not going to have blade guys anymore because they're fed up with it. And so am I.
I didn't say I wasn't backing them up. I was stating what I've heard.
Doug has worked 34 years at the county, over half his life. Okay? He deserves some respect. He doesn't deserve to have every little thing he does ridiculed by people that don't have the first clue on what he's doing. He doesn't.
Well, we can go back and forth here all day long.
Right.
You gotta figure out how to fix it.
Well, I don't know if
There is no fix.
Solution. There is no solution.
A fix. Just listen to what I'm going to say. In that, a blade operator is like a school superintendent or a referee or an umpire.
Boys
at a
basketball
baseball.
coach. They aren't good till they're dead or retired.
Well, just let me finish. Or a teacher, in that a vast majority of the people will always support them and like them.
Yeah.
But you have to put up with that small percentage of people who will criticize, and you're right, and that's no different than a blade operator. There were people when Dan was superintendent and I was coaching and whatever, you can give 10 examples. If you're in the medical industry, okay, people will say, they'll come in and say, you know, I saw this ad on TV and I have this and that and I want that. They're the experts, you know. You've got to try to ignore that and look at the positives as to the people who, the vast majority of the people out there think the blade operators are doing a great job and doing what they can under the situations they can. You have, Brent, you and it's hard to not internalize that and dwell on that, but you need to ignore the 2% or 4% or 5%, whatever that percentage is, and focus on the 95% of the people that think that you're all doing a good job.
What I also have to do is stand up for the 8 guys that I'm in charge of.
Absolutely, and we shouldn't be too.
No question,
I'll tell you,
we are too.
unfortunately, who do we always hear from? We hear from the complainants. The 95% of people that, every once in a while you do hear from them that those guys do a
Doing
good
a
job.
good job.
But we don't hear that.
They're the
I got a
silent majority.
I got a voicemail on my phone, and I'm not going to play it now because we're here long enough, of somebody basically left me a message saying, please don't get rid of Doug. He's been a great blade guy for 34 years, and if I need to, I'll come in. We don't want to lose Doug. I don't know why these people complain. I can give